hear me okay? Hey, if you guys can hear me okay, make sure you tell me in the chat here. Because I don't know if you can hear me or not. Woo! Hey everybody, if you can hear me or cannot hear me, let me know in the chat in Periscope right now. Right now I'm just checking all my other streams to make sure they're going. Can you guys hear me or not? I am not seeing any comments for whatever reason. So I don't know if you can actually hear me. Or I'll just talk to nobody. Right now I should be streaming to my YouTube and to Twitter via Periscope and to my Facebook. So I'm currently trying to pull up my Facebook to make sure that's streaming okay. Well, I'm not seeing any comments whether you guys can hear me or can't hear me. I'll just wait, I guess. Hello. So it looks like Periscope is streaming, and I think my YouTube stream is going now too. So oh, thank you. Thanks, Pirate King. Pirate King said my sound's fine on the stream. Okay, well, I mean, this is like this isn't like a topical stream. I know I said I was gonna talk about the coronavirus. I've been doing a little bit of research on that. Or if you guys have any questions and we just want to do like a Q&A, just have a comfy chat. Grab your... I don't drink tea because I'm American, so this is cappuccino, which is still a little bit too hot. But if I don't see any comments in the chat, I guess I'll just ramble. This is the first time that I'm using Restream, so I'm just trying to check all my streams right now and make sure everything's good. You know, they say to do a test run, but we all know how boomer I am with technology, so. It looks like my Periscope's online, but my Facebook and my YouTube event is still trying to send data, so I'm just trying to figure out on Restream right now why that's not going through right now, because I want to stream. Twitter's my biggest platform, obviously, but I'm about 200 subscribers away from 2,000 on YouTube, so I want to start doing regular streams to my YouTube too, but I also know not everybody on Twitter really uses YouTube or cares about it, so I'm just trying to cover all my bases with platforms. And my Facebook, a lot of older people follow me, so I'm not really sure on late night streams like this whether or not anybody would even be interested in watching something like that over on my Facebook, since it is so late at night. It's almost midnight where I am, so but I figure I'll just cover all my bases, stream to all platforms, and that way if somebody does happen to be on one of the platforms and not one of the other ones, they'll still catch the stream, and I won't have to link people on Twitter a Facebook stream or vice versa. And I figure it'll just be easier, and hopefully it'll run smoothly, which it's not right now, but like I said, I'm a boomer when it comes to technology, so. And this is my first time trying to stream to multiple platforms, so go figure. Ooh. Trying to scroll and see if there's any comments. I just saw at POTUS Thump is here. POTUS Thump is here? Are you still here? That's awesome. POTUS Thump is this really awesome bunny account. I don't know if they're actually still watching or not. Guys, if you all are here, say hi in the chat. Is this where, as a streamer, I'm supposed to like rant about how no one's talking to me in the chat? I'm still figuring stuff out right now. So, for now, we'll just hang out and see what's going on here. Oh, okay. Pirate Adam. Oh, Pirate King says people are commenting and I just can't see it. So let me just, I'm gonna open up, I have Twitter open on my phone, but for whatever reason I can't see Periscope comments. So let me look into that real quick. Oh, okay, I know what's going on. Give me one sec, folks. Like I said, I'm a boomer when it comes to technology, so. I have a, Restream has a chat feature, but I only added YouTube comments and it's not even streaming to my YouTube yet. So let me add Twitter. Let me add Twitter real quick. Sorry, guys. Well, I told you it was going to be a comfy stream, so. Okay, let's see. Let me go to my stream on my actual Periscope page. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, I can see comments now. Rifleman I just saw said, uh-oh. So I can now see comments on browser, it's just a little delayed. So if you guys have comments, yes, okay, good. Okay, I can see comments on Twitter now. It's supposedly streaming to my YouTube too, but that's taking a little bit. So I'm gonna have that up too, and be monitoring comments. So now that Boomer Chan has figured out how to actually use OBS, what do you guys want to chat about? Alana, hi Alana. Rifleman, don't read the rest. What have you guys been doing in my chat? Oh God. Hello, Pirate King. I don't know how to say the A word in your name, so. You were going crazy. Were you making fun of me? Probably. That's understandable. It's fine. Or wait, am I supposed to cry because I'm a streamer? So I need to cry about how you're making fun of me in my chat. Please don't bully. Oh, so sorry, my man asked, new Eminem album thoughts. So, funny story. I had a girl that I was good friends with in high school. We kind of lost touch. We're still friends on my personal Facebook. She was obsessed with Eminem in high school, and she liked like the older albums and stuff like that. I've never really been a huge fan of Eminem. I don't really get it. But then again, my taste in rap is pretty much like, you know, and Rifleman says he's a has-been. Well, you can say he's a has-been, but there's not a lot of modern rap music that I like. I'll listen to anything. Obviously, predominantly my taste is 70s and 80s rock music. So, my theory is I don't think Eminem's been good since like the Slim Shady era. But, you know, like I just said, I'm not a huge Eminem fan. I'm not an expert, you know. I do know that he's, for whatever reason, been pandering to the woke crowd, which to me, when I see someone pandering to the woke crowd, it kind of makes me think that, like Rifleman said, maybe you are a has-been. Why can't you just let your music speak for itself if you supposedly are still this phenom of rap music? So that's my personal opinion. I'm not saying that he was never good. He's never been my personal taste. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying he's bad. But the only songs that I like of Eminem's are old albums. Like, I think I was in middle school when a lot of his older albums came out. So I didn't really discover and have a friend that hardcore listened to Eminem until high school, obviously. But I'm not really a fan, so I can't really like specifically comment on, oh, is he washed up, whatever. I just don't really like him. It's just not my taste. Not that he's trash or anything like that, but just not my thing. Now you want to talk about boomer music? I got you. But as far as Eminem goes, I'm far from an expert, so. Rap God was good. Everybody says that, but I think that song's fucking annoying. I really do. Like I said, I'm not a big fan, so I mean, if you guys, you know, like the newer stuff, that's fine, but personally, I don't, you know, I think he was good when he was rapping him. My personal opinion is I don't think Eminem's really been good since he recovered from his addiction. So, best rock band from the 70s? Are you trying to fight right now? I'm wearing a Rush shirt, and you're asking me what the best band is from the 70s era. My personal favorite band is Styx. I realize that not everybody likes synth music, but that's my favorite band. Are they the best band of that era? That's up for debate. It's your opinion. I mean, so I'm like not really, here's the thing, as much as I joke with you guys on Twitter about how oh, you don't like this band, this is insulting, you should know this band, I don't really care that much. Like, it's my favorite kind of music, I love it, but at the end of the day, when I call you guys trash for not liking it, I'm just joking around. I totally get that 70s, 80s is not everybody's cup of tea or cappuccino, but I'm just joking around. I do have some favorite bands. Like, I posted that I've been on an Eagles kick lately. And when I was younger, I used to hate the Eagles because the only song I had heard was Hotel California, and it's very overplayed on radio. So, you know, you just, the Eagles were one of those bands to me where I thought, I also went through a phase. I grew up being forced to listen to country music. And when I say country music, I don't mean like Southern rock country music. I mean like Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, that era of country. So Triumph is amazing. Yes, absolutely agree. And Triumph is one of those bands. So basically my music tastes evolved from my dad, obviously. Like, my dad grew up going to those concerts. My dad saw Rush back in the day, and then we got to see them together, which was amazing, a few years back. But my music taste evolved out of my dad and stuff like that. So there were some bands where if they weren't like the big popular bands, I didn't really know who they were, and Triumph was one of those. And then I discovered them, and I was like, whoa, Dad, why didn't you show me this? Blake Shelton. Ugh. Guys, I'm not talking about country music. That is one thing. Here's the thing. People are like, what kind of music do you like? Well, I like older stuff, obviously. But, and you know, I do say that I don't like country music, but to be honest, that's a lie, because like we all joked about the Eagles being country music. I went through a phase where I don't mind Southern rock sounding bands where they have a heavier rock influence as opposed to like an acoustic guitar type influence, like folky, whatever. So I do like those kind of bands, and I love Charlie Daniels. If you guys don't follow Charlie Daniels on Twitter, you really should. He tweets like the same 4 things every morning. He tweets like, so many soldiers commit suicide today, and he'll tweet a morning prayer out every morning. And I love being up at the same time as Charlie Daniels every morning on Twitter. It's very wholesome. He is very much an older, you know, person on Twitter. It's hard to explain. Just, you'll have to, you know, you have to get the full experience yourself. But a Rifleman was talking about Pink Floyd. Now, hopefully I'll get you guys all, I'll get talking about the Chinese virus in a bit, don't worry. Because I never made my thread about that, because I decided I wanted to just wait it out and see if any more information came out about it, and then I would just chat about it on a live stream where we could bounce ideas off each other. I love the Allman Brothers. I do, and they're see, that's another band. I didn't really listen to them until like 2-ish years ago, and I'm by no means an expert, but I do really enjoy some of their songs. But anyways, I'm rambling now. Rifleman was talking about Pink Floyd, and Pink Floyd is one of those bands where my dad loves Pink Floyd, but I feel like it's because he like experienced that era. I cannot get into Pink Floyd, like, at all. Even the classic albums that people laud and praise and that kind of stuff. Oh, good night, Rifleman. I just can't get into it. And that's not me saying they're bad. I mean, obviously they were heavily influential. See, I'm not one of those people that think that if I don't like a band, that means that they must be trash. There are a lot of bands that I don't personally like that I know were so influential in the creation and the evolution of rock music and other kinds of music too. There's plenty of bands that I don't like in other genres, but I still recognize the influence that they had in the musical realm. So I joke about being elitist, and I ruffle people's feathers about it, but I mean, obviously I went viral with Van Halen, and Van Halen's not even in my top 10 favorite bands from that era. I was just joking about how people don't know who Van Halen is, and people took that as me attacking them. So whatever. Some people just want to be mad online. Someone said the Chinese virus is fake. Do you guys think so? Do you think it's fake? I don't think it's fake. Personally, I don't think it's fake. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll up and see older comments here because I'm missing some. The greatest rock band is Led Zeppelin. I love me some Led Zeppelin. Nova says, me too, I hate the Beatles despite their massive cultural influence. I went through a phase when I was younger, so backstory a little bit about my childhood. I grew up going to, my grandparents are in their mid to late 70s, and they were in an old car club where we would travel around. My parents have always owned classic cars. We just sold our last classic car. And I don't mean muscle cars, I mean like, I grew up with a Chevy limousine in my garage, an old Chevy limousine that we would drive around. Oh, side note, people are asking if I'm streaming on YouTube and other platforms. It says that it's sending them. I don't see them yet, so I'll check in a little bit. Actually, I'll try to multitask and talk while I do this. Let me look into that. Thank you for pointing that out. I just got rambling and completely forgot. What was I even talking about? Oh, yeah, backstory. So I grew up going to old car shows, and so I also grew up with like Elvis and Buddy Holly and like more old bands, the Supremes, those kind of bands. So I have an appreciation for older music too. Just my personal favorite era is 70s, 80s rock and roll. But I do have an appreciation for 50s and 60s music as well, because of my grandparents and how I grew up going to older car shows where on the loudspeakers in these parks where the cars would be, they would play the classics of their day, and I love it. One of my favorite things in the world is watching my grandparents dance, because they do the imperial swing, and they grew up where everybody danced and went out to, bars, and it's just a different time. But so the Beatles, I also listened to the Beatles at those kind of car shows, and my grandparents liked the Beatles, but I used to work with this older lady in her 70s, my grandparents' age, and she hates the Beatles, and she loves AC/DC, and she says that the British invasion is pop music and not real rock and roll, and I love that. I think it's hilarious that there's such different perspectives between different people in their 70s about what the British invasion really did for music and whether that's rock and roll or not. So I used to really like the Beatles when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I kind of grew out of it. Like, obviously I appreciate the cultural influence, but I just grew out of it. British invasion really did for music and whether that's rock and roll or not. So, the Beatles' most overrated band ever. I mean, like I said, there's some songs that I'll sing if they're on, but listen, don't ask me to rationalize it. I don't know what this 70-year-old lady's thinking. She just told me that she doesn't like the Beatles and that that's not real rock and roll. I think it's the type of music they play, not necessarily where they're from. At least that's what I think. I don't really know what her argument was. I just thought it was hilarious that, a lot of people assume that somebody that age would love the Beatles, and she went on this giant rant about how the Beatles aren't rock and roll. It's just funny. She called them pop music, which is, I guess, but so no Skrillex for me. There's some good Skrillex remixes. Not a 90s rock fan. I hate grunge. Like, I hate it. I'm not a fan, but I was born in 93, so I was too young. My parents are too old to have shown me 90s rock, and I've always listened to classic rock stations, so I think I just don't like it because I missed the boat. Like, my dad showed me 70s, 80s. My grandparents showed me 50s, 60s, their music. But because I was born like in the early 90s. Like Kurt Cobain died the year I was born. So 90s music, I just missed the boat. And there's like some 90s classic like R&B and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe there would be some bands that I liked if I looked into them. But the classic bands, I don't like. Like Nirvana, I don't like Nirvana. Like I said, I'm not one of those people who's like, if I don't like a band, that means they're trash and they had no influence on music. That would be stupid. Unicron's boss said, what's this new Twitter thing? Hey, Mac. This is Periscope. I'm just going to stream every once in a while. I saw somebody ask how often I stream. This is totally new. I don't know if I'll always stream on Fridays. I would like to stream at least once a month. I'd like to get in the pattern where I'm streaming once a week for you guys and we can just chat about weekly topics or whatever the heck, what questions you have about my tweets or whatever. But are you sexist if you like women? It depends on who you ask these days, doesn't it? Oh, right, okay. I'm going to look into this YouTube thing really quick. Hey, a Yu-Gi-Oh question. Thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s? I haven't been keeping up with Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. It's really my husband and our mutual friends things. We used to travel around and go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments in different states and stuff like that. And I have cosplayed a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, believe it or not. But I don't keep up with Yu-Gi-Oh! And the ban list and stuff like that. Everything is sexist according to some. Ain't that the truth? I feel like every time I do a stream, I'm totally fine, and then I'm sitting here talking and my nose just starts running. Can someone please explain? Like, and I hate watching streams where people sniffle, so it's very annoying. I might have to go up and get a tissue so I'm not being nasty. Okay, I am gonna keep my eyeball on the Periscope chat. I am looking into this YouTube thing real quick. Do you keep all of your wigs from cosplay? If so, how many wigs do you own? Oh my god. Yes, when we moved, it could be the cappuccino. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm cold and the cappuccino's hot, so my body's having problems. Oh, it might be the hot drink. My nose sometimes runs when I drink hot things. Okay, we will switch to water because I don't want my nose to run. Anyways, Andrew, I think that was Andrew that asked. Ooh. Andrew asked if I keep all the wigs that I own. I keep pretty much every cosplay, pretty much every wig, unless I will replace wigs. So like my Asuka wig, who is my profile picture on Twitter. I've replaced that wig once. I've had the cosplay for 4 years, so every couple years, wigs just get, even if you brush them and trim them and take care of them, which I'm actually really bad at taking care of my wigs, and now that I have a cosplay room at my place, I'm trying to take care of my cosplays and my wigs a lot better. Sabaton is amazing. Sorry, sidetrack Nova. Anyway, yep, I pretty much have all my wigs. I've thrown some out, or because I've replaced them, or I've sold a few, but if it's a character that I currently have, yeah, I have the wig for it. And I rarely get rid of cosplays. Very, very rarely. So that's a very long answer, but basically yes, I keep all my wigs. Right now, I'm storing them in 2-gallon freezer bags, and I label what character it is or what style of wig it is in case, because I don't just have cosplay wigs, I also just own fashion wigs and like lace front nice fashion wigs that I could like wear in public and it would look like real hair type wigs. So the total amount of wigs I have, I think when I was moving and I was counting them. I want to say it was mid to late 30 something wigs. That's how many I have. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll make a video on it or something. I see a few people are talking about the Ahegao ban. I'm not a weeb, so I don't actually know how to pronounce that. I know everyone's like, you're not a weeb, you cosplay. Yeah, whatever. Yes, Unicron Boss, that's what we're talking about. So for those that don't know, this is kind of hard to explain to people. Ahegao is basically like in hentai, the eyes will roll back and that sometimes their tongue will be out and it's like a hentai face, basically. It's like, yeah, it's just a funny face. So I think it's hilarious. Actually, you know, before this whole controversy, so for people that don't know what's going on, is there are white hoodies and pants and leggings being sold with Ahegao faces on them. And some people are concern trolling about it and saying that they shouldn't be allowed at convention. Like, keep in mind, these are just faces. This is not naked bodies attached. It's just the faces cropped and photoshopped into a collage onto a piece of clothing, right? So, basically, people are saying, this is the argument I've seen over and over again, and I might make a video on it because I think there's something deeper going on here. And my husband and I have talked about it. We just talked about it today. I don't just think it's the Ahegao hoodies. I think there's a deeper part of con culture that is very anti-male, and I think hentai is stigmatized as a male predominantly enjoyed thing, and it's not a surprise to me that something that men enjoy wearing to conventions, because a lot of men don't cosplay at these conventions. You know, some do, but when they don't, they wear anime related things, just like girls who don't cosplay do. But the Ahegao hoodies are a big popular dude thing, and or at least stigmatized that way. I know girls that own them. So people are mad about it because God forbid men enjoy things, right? So that's my take on it. I think it's stupid. I've done a bunch of Twitter threads on it, how stupid I think it is. I think there are literally convention chairs of these anime conventions that are predatory to children, that are running the conventions, and we're worried about hoodies. Really? Like, that's your top priority? That's it? And Pirate King's right in the chat, saying men aren't allowed to have anything anymore, is basically what it is. And, you know, I'm someone who, like, originally thought that the Ahegao hoodies are cringe, and to some extent I still think they're cringe. But now that, you know, it has the same effect. When you try to ban something, people are gonna want to wear it even more. So I'm considering buying head to toe Ahegao gear and wearing it to a convention just to piss people off at this point, because it's ridiculous. If your kid knows what that is on that hoodie, you have bigger fish to fry than someone wearing a hoodie. That's my ultimate take on it. So, okay. I'm going to keep looking there, but I'm also going to try to figure out how to actually get this to stream to my YouTube, because it was supposed to go live an hour and a half ago, and it never did. Here we go. I'm like out of breath. Ranting. Okay. Oh, okay. I had privatized. Let's see if that works. I had privated the video. Let's see if that goes through.